Let's talk about Thunderbolts.
69.
Tell me, Alan, the story of the Thunderbolts in brief. This will be non-spoiler mostly. We'll get to spoilers. Go for it.
Okay. Well, the movie opens with Yelena on top of a building feeling depressed. And in order to deal with her depression, she asks Valentina, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, to give her one more assignment, or give her assignments that give her a more public view. You know, maybe she wants to be a real Avenger, and she does. There's a research facility that Valentina needs destroyed because she's about to be impeached as the CIA director. So she sends Yelena there to clean things up, but then there's John Walker. Oh, there's Ghost. There's Taskmaster. They were all sent there to kill each other.
They were set up. They were set up. They were
set up. And they realize that Valentina is not their friend. They discover an experiment of sort in Bob, and they decide that they need to take down Valentina. And they have to somehow get out of this facility, find Valentina, and let justice be done. And Bucky is a congressman who is trying to help impeach Valentina. There you go. That's Thunderbolts.
That's the setup. The first, and by the way, it should be noted that Geraldine Viswanathan plays Mel. That is her assistant, her Valentina's assistant, who
we know her for some reason,
cleans up messes. She was in a little indie sci-fi movie we reviewed a couple years ago. In fact, I interviewed her as part of that. I like her, comedic actress. Mm-hmm. So, any case, bit character. So they meet under these circumstances, realize that they've got to team up in order to exit the facility. They meet Bob, played by Lewis Pullman, and the joke is he's Bob. You know, I'm just Bob, kind of a mental patient. I was here being experimented on, who joins the trio in their attempt to escape the facility unscathed, which ends up with them teaming up. Of course, David Harbour, who plays Alexei Shostakov, he joins this ragtag group. Obviously, this is Marvel's attempt at the Suicide Squad, and it lands with a dud for several reasons. One, make no mistake, this is Girl Boss Avengers. Florence Pugh is the lead of this movie, and I don't believe she has the gravitas or the likability. She's just not likable. She is fine as a side character, but I don't think, has the weight to be front and center. Now, Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow. I believe she has what it takes to actually be front and center as that lead. Florence Pugh, as she portrays this character, not the actress, I think she's very good. But the choice for how they made this character does not feel like a lead role to me. It's ensemble, but Black Widow, Yelena, is the lead of this film. So much doesn't work. Let's start with what doesn't work. This is low budget Marvel. The first half hour of the movie just trying to failed attempts to escape this facility, and then realizing that Bob has some strange superpowers he can't really control. It's a little weird. Something's weird with Bob. We better watch Bob.
Yeah, don't spoil what his real name is in the movie.
Everything is quippy. Nothing matters. Nothing is serious. Even though life and death is at stake, and many sort of no-faced people, meaning this is really a thing in these kind of movies where you see like robots, faceless, military guys in black gear with black helmets on, faceless, being killed left and right like nothing. Okay. And I think you can tell which character will not survive to be a part of the Thunderbolts And
I mean, in this poster here, one of these characters doesn't survive.
Yes. Take a guess. It's all leading towards a showdown with a mentally ill, superpowered being that can put you into the void, which makes you confront your inner demons. Mental illness. Because the movie, as I'm told, is about mental illness. Because Bob is mentally ill. It's this, when Marvel decided that every Marvel movie had to be quippy and the circumstances they were in were not life and death, or that like nothing mattered, that's when they went downhill, and this continues down that hill. While I'll just say that the screening we were at, people were laughing to the point where I'm like, why is everyone laughing so hard? And I looked at, you and Dante and our row, people were just quiet, kind of maybe enjoying the movie, but not laughing in a gregarious way. It just, the whole movie felt flat. It felt by the numbers Marvel, and it without giving anything away, it ends similar to how Captain America Brave New World ended, where the main antagonist is taken out with empathy. I'm not making this up, folks. Empathy.
Yeah. And they do it 2 films in a row.
It just, maybe they have maybe what they, because it got boring with Marvel in a little bit, where they'd introduce a villain, the villain would lose, introduce a villain, the villain would lose. You know what? Maybe the villain just gets away. That's what happened in the comics a lot. The villain would retreat to fight another day. Or maybe the heroes don't always win. But I found this movie unsatisfying. It attempts to set up things like the Fantastic Four and other events in the Marvel universe. And I was left, even though I really like so many of these actors. Wyatt Russell is really good as U.S. Agent. Sebastian Stan is the lead of this movie, but he's not put front and center. He's a side character. He has the weight. He's also been nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor, by the way. I don't know why he's not more a part of this film. The cast, and I like David Harbour. It's just, again, too much screen time with quippy stuff. The quips ruin this. They really have leaned into, since the first Guardians movie, everything has been quippy. That's it. That's what Marvel is. And Marvel was best when it balanced quip humor with serious events and things that actually mattered. I'm thinking of movies like Civil War, where there was weight to events, or Infinity War or Endgame.
Yeah, everything that wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy was treated seriously.
Yeah, but now it's Guardians Light, and this is their attempt at Suicide Squad. It misses the mark, and I'm gonna say, we don't always agree, Alan, but I'm gonna say I agree with your review on filmthreat.com. It's a 3 out of 10. And it's not gonna bring in new fans. And I think normies, because there is homework, you need to have watched the Black Widow movie. You need to have watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. You need to have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp to understand Ghost's background. And I think there's just too much to it. And the title, we'll get to spoilers. The title isn't the title of the movie. We'll get into it. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah. I mean, let's make the obvious comparison between this movie and Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad. You could pick either one. The reason those movies worked much better than this one is because you had a series of characters that had their moments in the movie. They were well-defined characters. We kind of knew what they were. And they did their thing, which is exactly what the Thunderbolts do here. The reason it doesn't work here is this is basically the Yelena and Alexei show, co-starring Bucky.
Right.
Because, who is John Walker? Unless you saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, his story, Ghost. Barely, she does her thing in this movie, but there's not much of a character arc there. Not much of a character arc for John Walker, except for what he did, and then honestly, I felt bad for one of the characters who doesn't make it very far, because I kind of wanted to at least see something from that character before that character was dispatched. It is not only was this a low budget movie. It was a badly written movie. It was felt like it was written by amateurs, someone who got their chance at the first time to write an action movie, a superhero action movie, and of course, someone got to that person and said, "Yeah, but let's make it about something different. Let's make it about mental health, because that's what the world is going through right now, and people want to see superhero movies about mental health, because we can all relate to that." And I hate to say it, but no, we can't relate to it. Or relate to it in a way that's exciting for us, or to where we want to pay money to see a movie about mental health. And it is just an ill-conceived movie, and as you say, it is just one quippy one-liner after the other. It doesn't stop. When you get to Valentina, she, Elaine from Seinfeld, you've got that thing going. Look, if no one on the screen takes this movie seriously, then why should I take this movie seriously? And I think that's the feeling people get. I think the reviews that have come out so far, it feels more like they're responding to people like us who didn't like the movie and need to go out of their way to prove that we're wrong. No, how can you say that about mental health? People are suffering out there. COVID, Trump, whatever. No one's buying it. And I'm really curious just to see how well this movie does at the box office. Because, look, if it's popular right out of the gate, I guess I was wrong. I guess it is a good movie. But I just feel like we deserve better. We have definitely seen better superhero movies. And any talk of comparing this movie to the first, to all the movies up until Endgame, to compare it to that is laughable. Because this is nowhere near any of those. And so, look, I can't recommend this movie in any way. It is just derivative. I get it. They're bad guys, bad guys put together to become a good guy group. That idea is a good idea, but it's not pulled off in any way here.
And worse, this is the last I'll say, and we will do spoilers later. The ending is a joke. Yeah. The ending of the movie is one big joke about the title of the movie. And I won't reveal that now, but I will later. So we'll get to that. But I can't recommend.
Can I just say that the ending before that one, the main ending, I mean, it's probably the first Marvel superhero ending that doesn't use superpowers in any way.
And it's a joke. So if in world it's a joke, and I'm not supposed to take it seriously, then you shouldn't either. And
let me recommend a better movie that is in the theme and vein of this. New Mutants.
Well, there you are. New Mutants. I did not see that one coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially the same thing. Let's just put it that way.
It's time, Alan, for our spoiler review of Thunderbolts. So if you are watching this video, this will be filled with spoilers, including the ending, including post-credit scenes. So let's get right to it. The biggest spoiler of this movie is that the title, which you could say is kind of clever, that the title Thunderbolts is not the title of this movie. And even Thunderbolts, which was supposed to be inspired by Thunderbolt Ross, is not why they call themselves the Thunderbolts. Do you know why they're called the Thunderbolts, Alan?
Yes, and I cared so much I can't remember it.
It's because
Oh,
when
no.
Yelena was a young girl, she was on a young girl that played soccer. She played soccer for a team called the Thunderbolts. So Red Guardian kind of names them the Thunderbolts. The name doesn't stick because the asterisk comes off and they are dubbed in a scene at the end of the movie when Bob is the main antagonist. Bob is dispensed with by the Thunderbolts through empathy. They descend on Elaine from Seinfeld's character. You know her name, Valentina, who plays the role with all the weight of Selena Gomez, her VP character from Veep.
Now, Selena Gomez is the singer.
Is it Selena
From
Gomez?
Amelia, yeah.
It might be something else. Anyways, she
is
plays
something.
a character in Veep. And she has an impromptu press conference as the Thunderbolts descend to basically, put her under arrest. There's a tarp hiding a bunch of people in the media, and she introduces the Thunderbolts, who have just defeated Sentry, as the new Avengers. And the title of the movie is The New Avengers.
And not only that, they use the actual New Avengers logo from the comic books.
Well, as this final battle kind of echoes of the Battle of New York takes place in the Avengers building is not destroyed, but it takes damage. They then become the New Avengers. They're surprised by this, but Yelena now has a forward-facing public figure. She's now a superhero. They were villains. They now become villains or reviled. They now become heroes. This new team. The post-credit scene is David Harbour as Red Guardian, literally at a grocery store, looking at a box of Wheaties with his face on it as a hero.
And he's trying to
pick up a girl and see if anyone recognizes him. And then let's give you the ending post-credit scene. It's a mid-credit. We are at the Avengers headquarters.
It's a year later.
It's
7 years later.
No.
14.
14 months later. I don't know why it's so specific. 14 months later. They're at the headquarters. They are being sued. We learn they're being sued by Sam Wilson, who over the Avengers name. And they're just hanging out at Avengers headquarters, being quippy and jokey with each other. They kind of have like Red Guardian suggests they change their name to the Avengers with a Z. And then something is on the satellite. What is it? It's the spacecraft of the Fantastic Four. And that's how the movie ends, setting up Fantastic Four. Kind of like that may kind of ruin the ending of FF. Do they cross over into our universe? The 616, do they cross over into our universe at the beginning or end of the movie? What happens? We don't know. We don't know why this is happening. But that's your ending. I think the main spoiler is that this movie, and we'll review it again because I'll see it. I'm going to see it again on Thursday.
You are? Okay.
Seeing maybe it holds up or maybe does it get better on second viewing? I don't know. We'll find out. But But there you are. That's the end of the movie. We have now spoiled it. Alan, what else could people? We also know that Taskmaster dies pretty unceremoniously.
Yeah.
In the
She
opening,
gets shot in the head.
Shot in the head, and that's it.
Yeah.
Very quick. But I don't know. Other spoiler thoughts or things you can discuss, Alan.
Yeah. I mean, we could just harp on the Taskmaster because it happens pretty early in the movie. But I mean, never takes off her mask. She's just there. You would never know the actress who played her, and it's the same actress from Black Widow. She's there for an instant and just gets blown in the head, and that was it. The other thing is you notice it with Ghost, but we're back to the old. If I have to say something, I have to take my mask off. I have to hit the button, and the mask comes up. That's still there. I don't know. I hate to really spoil much until Friday, but let's put it this way: anything we say will not be surprising in any way. To me, the Fantastic Four appearance at the end was that a spoiler, or was that pretty much how we assumed it was going to happen?
I don't know. That's they wanted to tease the next movie, so that's it. The biggest spoiler is this is not an ensemble movie. It's Yelena's movie.
Mm-hmm.
She is the lead of the movie, and I don't think she has the gravitas to pull it off.
What's funny is you have a Captain America on the team, but who's the leader of the new Avengers?
Yelena,
yeah.
Yeah, she's clearly the head of these new Avengers. And so what this makes this is a joke because the Avengers, it should be actually Winter Soldier. It should be Sebastian Stan. He's just the logical leader, and they just don't give him the lines or the stuff to do. And yeah, it's
maybe he is the leader and we just didn't get it.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna see it again and we'll see.
Yeah. And then Bob is still around. And the idea that this is the menacing villain just tells you that he's not that menacing, and he wasn't that menacing in the movie either.
Yeah.
But Bob's back.
Well, there are more things to spoil. This is the main crux of it, the end of the film and the post-credit scenes. So make of that what you will. I'll be seeing it a second time. I'll see if my opinion changes somewhat. But I doubt it. It's a disappointment. I was looking for something new and this didn't hold up. Final thoughts, Alan, before we go to comments.
Yeah, can't wait to spoil it more on Friday.